Reality. We all have cheated ourselves in order to get a better grade. We skip the last 100 pages of a book to the very last one so we're able to fake our paper or assignment in class. As a fellow student and classmate, I see the appeal to this. Not everyone wants to read all the reading in a book. Remember back in sophomore year, we had those 3,000 pages of Les Mis to read? It could be as simple as finishing an assigned book. I understand. Reading books isn't the most interesting thing you could do in your free time. However, right now I'm going to show you why you shouldn't read the last page first. When you read the ending first, either of two things happen. A. You don't truly understand or appreciate the climaxes or turns the author takes you on, or B. You lose interest in the book completely and you don't bother to read it. Let's start with the first option. A. If you read the last page first, you'll understand the ending, but you'll never understand how you truly got there. You won't even know what's going on if you skip that much reading. Think of a book as a trail. If you jumped to the end of a trail and saw your final destination, you wouldn't see the view, the trees, the birds, or even the path it takes to get there. What would be the point of traveling if you don't even travel to get there? The difference between the two is whether you value the journey or the destination. The answer is clear, for a destination means nothing emotionally or symbolically without taking the journey to get there. Reading the last page first is like eating your dessert first. You would offend the chef the way you offend the author. I'd call reading the last page first a lack of faith on the reader's part. They're not confident that the book is worth reading in the first place, so they're checking how satisfying the ending's going to be. However, the true experience of the book is never simply on the last page. It's throughout the entire book. Trust the author. Let them take your hand and guide you on the right path. Stories are meant to be heard. Heard meaning felt. Stories give words and life to characters. If you read the last page of a book first, you can never become as emotionally invested in each character as you're meant to be. Say, the end of a book tells the death of the main character. When you read the book, you won't truly invest in that character, because you already know that they're going to leave at the end. The point of reading and loving different characters is that you'll never know what they might do or where they'll take you. They may take twisting turns in totality, but that's part of the fun. You could miss your favorite character meeting Mr. Right, or them simply having fun and living life. Without this appreciation for books, authors like Shakespeare would go unnoticed, characters unloved, and readers unsatisfied. By reading the last page first, you're taking control of the book. The control you're taking isn't meant to be yours. It's the author's and theirs alone. Stories should live through you, and you should live through stories. The point of reading is to become so engulfed in the book you could fall asleep while sunbathing, leaving you well read. When you skip to the end, you don't pay attention to the countless details and facts you, me, the writer, the author, or even God put in place for you. Not everything we do in life is pertinent to where we end up, but without them, we won't have a book of life, and we might not even have a character. If you do this, you won't read, you won't learn, you won't love. But the thing is, we need to read, and to learn, and to love. One could skip to the end of a book if they feel that the author is playing games with their emotions, rather than telling the story honestly. As a reader, seeing games being played with my mind is frustrating and makes me want to simply cheat myself. Yet, there is a purpose. If you skip to the end without letting the author play these games with you, you won't experience their novel the way it was intended. You have to let the book open up to you. As smart as we think ourselves, we can't rewrite a famous novel in our head a way better. No way could you better it. B. If you read an ending and you find you don't like it, you're most likely not going to read the entire book for it to result in a way unwanted. We all know the entirety of books need loving. However, the point of an ending is to be at the end. End. A final part of something. Hence, the final. Fact. You miss 100% of a book you don't read. Fact. All books are written for a reason. Fact. All books are worth reading. Fact. 100% of the pages one could skip or skim over have meaning. If you simply don't read an entire book, you miss an entire book of life. You miss the developments of characters from the start of their life to the end. A shame if you ask me. You'll miss the beautiful sunrises and sunsets, the clouds, the sky, the colors, and the beauty that are given each day, but usually not seen as much as they should. You'll miss the fun times. You'll miss the bad times. You'll miss the happiness on someone's face as they see their loved one or their friends. You'll miss the tears and sadness when a loved one leaves. You'll miss everything, and all of it will go unappreciated. Appreciate the ups, downs, pages, climaxes, twists, and turns. Whether it's the good or the bad, you have to feel them both to appreciate the other. What if one book is good and another is bad? One is deep and the other is shallow. One is intelligent and the other is dumb. You would never be able to tell the difference without the juxtaposition between the two. If you start at the end, you miss an entire whirlwind of events and paths the author purposefully takes the reader on. No page is a mistake, and everything has a reason. You can't read the space between the lines if you hardly even focus on the lines themselves in the first place. Reading the end of a book first won't help your grade. You'll simply be guessing the meaning of each sentence and relate it to the end. If you never read a book or live your life, you'll miss out on all the beauty, the sadness, the ups and downs, and that would be a waste of a book, and a waste of a life. You can't understand the bad without the good. You have to understand the bright darkness in life to see the light. You have to listen to the sound of silence to be able to appreciate the loud. Every book is worth reading, and every life is worth living. I mean, is life worth living if you start at the end? If you never even read a book, you'll miss an entire story that was worth writing, worth reading, and worth living.